everybody, I'm Courtney, aka the OKS Trail Runner, here today to talk to you about one of my very favorite topics, which is heat acclimation and how to run in hot temperatures. I know that things are heating up, we're getting into the summer, and as I go out on group runs, I hear collectively everybody around me hemming and hawing saying, oh, it is so hot, we just need some kind of relief. I have never tolerated heat well. My story is that, gosh, when I was a kid, I was always the rosy-cheeked girl. When it was hot out, I would have fainting spells. I would feel sick and nauseated. So heat has never been my friend. But ever since I started heat acclimation training, I tolerate heat so much better. I've run 2 summer 50-milers in the Midwest, which means not only was it above 85 degrees for both of these races, but it was also super humid, and I was able to tolerate the heat just fine because I followed a heat acclimation protocol. So I want to give all of you my top tips and tricks for how to run in the heat today and walk you through what it means to actually acclimate to the heat and share a few different techniques on how you could do this. Okay, so the first and most obvious technique to tolerating heat better is to spend some time acclimating to the heat. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, as you expose your body to extremely high temperatures repeatedly over about a 2-week period, these really unique adaptations occur that help your body manage heat more effectively. That includes increasing your hemoglobin mass in your blood, which is something you could actually measure and see it happening, which is really cool. But also as you go through this heat exposure therapy, if you sit in a sauna or you sit in a hot tub, you see your heart rate increasing. That's your body going through those different adaptations that are going to help you perform better and be more comfortable when you are running in the heat. So how you do this, there are a few different ways and a few different techniques, and some of them have been proven to be maybe slightly more effective over time than others. The first and simplest, most accessible that absolutely anybody can do is just layer up. Many of you who might follow ultra running, follow David Roach, you see that he does this. He layers up in a heat suit. He goes outside in extremely hot temperatures, just wearing a bunch of different layers and a winter coat, or he's inside on his treadmill. You'll see some athletes with a heating lamp and different heating elements around them to do this. You'll see Kilian Jornet does this as well. So this is considered active heat acclimation, which means that you are wearing a lot of layers or putting yourself in a warm room while you are exercising. That could be super effective. It just takes a lot to get that core body temperature up. So you have to be really great about putting on a ton of layers and putting on, just making your room really, really hot so you could do this. The alternative way is to do passive heat acclimation, which means that you're not actually exercising in extremely hot temperatures. You're just sitting in the hot temperature and letting your body adapt that way. So what you see behind me is my sauna. I happen to have an infrared sauna at home. This is a 1-person sauna. It gets up to about 160 degrees. When you're talking about heat acclimating in a sauna environment, you're going to be looking for a sauna that is at least 160 degrees or above to really trigger that heat acclimation response. There's a bunch of sciencey reasons why you need a certain temperature that I won't go into, but just know that if you're sitting in an infrared sauna, sometimes infrared saunas do not get hot enough. A lot of them have a max temperature of 150, and in particular, if it's a 2-person sauna, it might not get hot enough to induce that reaction that we're looking for. To know whether or not you're actually heat acclimating while you're sitting in a sauna or a hot tub or whatever your heat stimulus of choice might be, watch your heart rate. If your heart rate starts to increase and you get into that zone 1, maybe even zone 2, then you know that you're triggering that response in your body and you're doing something effective. So a sauna is a great method. Infrared sauna, if you have a small one like mine actually gets up to 160 degrees. By sitting in that for 5 minutes, I'm pouring sweat and I see my heart rate increasing, so I know that it's working. When it comes to sauna, you want to sit in the sauna for about 15 to 20 minutes. It should be relatively uncomfortable by the time that you're getting out, where you're definitely ready to get out, and that means that it's working. A hot tub could also be another alternative to this. I know lots of folks that do use hot tub for heat acclimation. It's very similar protocol where you want to sit in it for 15 to 20 minutes. Now, how often do you have to do this? That's a great question. You could actually do the majority of your heat acclimation in a 2-week time period, assuming that you're doing this almost every single day. About 4 to 5 days out of the week, you want to be getting that heat exposure regularly. Then once you do that, you kind of hit a limit. you can't keep acclimating. There's a limit that your body has. So after that 2-week period, you can really just hop in a sauna or a hot tub or do your heat suit training maybe twice a week, and you'll still be able to maintain it. Now, the great thing is that after you've gone through this 2 weeks of heat acclimation, you'll be able to go out on your runs and you'll start to feel significantly better. I have noticed that I maintain sodium just a little bit better when I run now, as opposed to before I was heat acclimated. Now, of course, this isn't something that you have to do year round. I personally just really enjoy my sauna, so I find it very relaxing to sit in the heat. So I do continue to use a sauna about 2 to 3 days a week all year round, but it's certainly not something that you have to do if you're not concerned about heat exposure. But if you do follow these protocols, just know that it will make your races significantly better. You'll be able to tolerate the heat better and generally feel better while you're out on your run. However, that's not to say that you shouldn't take extra other precautions while you're racing. If you happen to be racing in a desert environment or something that's going to be extremely hot, there are just a few other tips and tricks I wanted to share with you on how to deal with this. Number one, consider wearing long sleeves. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but I actually ran in long sleeves for my first 50 miler. It was 95 degrees this day with probably 1,000% humidity, and I was able to keep my sleeves wet at the aid stations. So the sleeves, keeping my body cool, actually helped me stay cool overall. I just dump cold, icy water over my head at every single aid station. Because my shirt stayed wet, it actually kept me cool longer. So wearing long sleeves, of course, not only is it great for sun protection, but also great for that reason as well, just keeping you cool. Number two, you'll probably see ice bandanas, very, very popular, or ice hats. You can buy them online, check out REI or check on Amazon. It's an actual piece of fabric that you wear where you could put ice in the bandana or in the hat in an aid station. That could also be super effective. It's also possible that I've seen folks put on those arm sleeves and you could stuff ice down the arm sleeves as well. Overall, there's really no substitute to making sure that you understand your electrolyte, your hydration needs, and how those change as the temperature changes. I did find one device, it's called the Nix Biosensor, really super helpful for this. It is a wearable device where you could actually take data on your sweat loss rate and the electrolyte concentration. So if you are looking to get a better idea of your electrolyte and your hydration needs in the heat, that's a really great way to test it. So I hope that all of this maybe sets your mind at ease just a little bit if you are planning on racing this summer in the blistering heat, or if you're just overall concerned about getting your training runs done in the heat. Definitely be safe out there, but definitely also consider following these protocols to make your hot runs a lot easier. All right, thanks for watching. See you soon.